Experience Club Dubbo, family-friendly bistro. Function areas to suit everyone. Enjoy meal specials, raffles, live music and more. Follow us on Facebook for details and visit Club Dubbo today.
Well, welcome back to Club Dubbo for the Inland Petroleum City of Dubbo International Fours. We're about to go live in round 3. Well, we're live pictures and live audio now. They're just completing their trial end. The thirds playing their bowls. We have a South Tamworth quartet, skipped by Phil O'Reilly, which is Nev White, Blaine Cook,
Dave Cook and Phil.
And they're up against, I'll let Lee take over here,
Glenn Seton side. So Glenn with his partner Debbie up front leading. Trevor Thorpe from Condobolin playing 2. And Craig Troth from Molong just delivered his bowl there. He'll play 3rd in this side. And Glenn himself out at Condobolin as well.
Phil's had a couple of wins, I know that much.
Yeah, just had a quick look at the board there. 2 wins plus 17. So the South Tamworth side sitting in 10th place at this point in time. And their opposition, Glenn Seton, 2 losses to start the day. So they'll be hoping for a victory here in round 3 to get their campaign up and running. Just to keep everyone up to date, we can go to the West Dubbo Bowls Facebook page for results. Currently the Aaron Wilson-led side on top of the table, 2 wins plus 37. Ben Twist just a few shots behind on plus 32. And Gary Kelly ran in at the top 3 at this point in time, 2 wins plus 28. One of our side greens here this afternoon, we do have Ben Twist side playing Gary Kelly here in round 3 this afternoon. So the winner of that game will go a long way to securing their spot in the top 8. The loser will have to probably win all 3 matches tomorrow to keep themselves in contention. So big game out there between Ben Twist and Gary Kelly. Unfortunately, it's just out of our viewing points. I won't be able to get you any actual scores throughout the game, but stay tuned, as I said, to the West Dubbo Bowls Facebook page. You'll be able to get all those results as they come to hand at the end of round 3.
And just posted the link for the YouTube channel on our comments. And just a reminder, never click on the links in comments unless you trust them from us. And even then, if you don't trust our link, search for it in YouTube. You can search Bowls NSW. We do know there's lots of people out there who put up links that they want you to click so they can basically steal your money. No, we don't ask for your credit card, so don't ever put it in. Oh, about to get underway. Well, we're coming to you live from Club Dubbo, West Dubbo Bowling Club, for the richest fours tournament in the world. $125,000 total prize pool. Certainly attracted plenty of interest and plenty of local teams. We've already seen some pretty good bowls, and we're looking forward to even more.
Absolutely. Debbie, get us underway here in number 1. See straight away, she's chosen the slightly wider side of the green. And fantastic opening bowl. The little size 1 Dreamline XGs, those ones. today, we see a contrast with Nev White playing his forehand opposite side of the green. So we'll see how long both players stick with that tactic. So there's some slight differences between the surfaces on all three greens and their speeds, but both players quickly finding the weight. Hopefully we're in for a good battle up front.
Interesting. Nev White, I saw him walking away on the green at South Tamworth. We're up there for an event. I did a double blink. I thought it was Dave Ellis walking away from me. Exactly the same hairdo. I keep saying Nev is Dave's doppelganger at times, anyway.
Blaine also choosing this narrow side of the green. Reasonable first bowl. He's got Nevs to work in off, and he's done that. Great starter there from Blaine. Very similar to some of the bowls we saw from Corey Wedlock in that second position in the first game this morning. Just playing that nice weight, giving himself maximum opportunity. Change of hands here for Trevor. Pretty good effort. The conquest, those ones are Trevor's, just falling underneath. Fraction wider this one from Blaine, urging it to come in.
Good tight line here, but a little bit of extra speed. It's just going to hold on.
That one's made its way all the way through to the ditch.
So Glenn lost the Battle of the Brothers last game.
Yeah, Jeff Seton getting over the top of Glenn Seton in round two. Dave Cook just pointing up on the line there. Similar type of shot here for Craig, but we're looking to lose some weight from his first delivery.
Oh, very tight.
Hoping for it to hold. There's a narrow side, just won't quite hold that long. If you're just joining us for the first time today, hopefully you can see on screen the tournament here assigns coloured stickers to each and every side. So they'll be reflected on the scoreboard at the top of the screen. So Glenn Seton's side with the purple stickers, Phil O'Reilly's side with the green. So follow that along. You've got to keep track of the bowls as they come in. Interesting. Glenn's chosen the backhand with his first bowl. Caught up on the front. Both skips with relatively narrow bowls. Phil O'Reilly here playing with powers. And Glenn Seton with Henselite Cruise. Talking about playing the forehand here, I think it is better options. Trail the jack, you can see the call there from Craig. Move the jack to the right of screen, sit the shot bowl. It's got to be a better option. We'll see Glenn here, nice tight line. Not far away from the shot bowl or the jack. He's picked it up. Made a few shots out of that. Plenty of room though for Phil, but one of those ones he needs to make sure of is a few down. Coming down, carrying a little bit of speed, just hoping it can slow up. And just in time. The players to confirm. I think that last bowl will be the shot. And it is. So, good solid last bowl by Phil O'Reilly. Gets his team on the board. Round number 3, if you're unsure of the format, there's an open draw done here at the club last night. Each of the 36 sides to play 6 matches. 3 today, 3 tomorrow. The top 8 sides on wins and margins at the conclusion of those 6 games make their way into the top 8 playoffs. There's also playoffs for sides finishing 9th through to 16th and 17th to 24th. As we heard from club chairman Tony in the last game, 24 at least of the 36 sides are going to walk away with their entry fee back at a minimum. So for sides like Glen Seton, who've lost 2 games here already this morning, it'll be very difficult for them to make the top 8 from there. However, they can find a way to win 2, 3 of their last 4 games. They can get their way into some of the other money playoffs on Friday. So the Tamworth guys go to a really short jack length here for N2.
Yeah, both players just slightly overplaying on that short length. Better to be passed than short, though. Lane looks to be on a pretty good line here.
Yeah, played this very well.
It'll be the shot just short of jack. Wouldn't count that as a bad bowl, though. Very close.
Blaine had a very special day here at the club yesterday. Turned 18. A very special time for him, and come away. It's his father, Dave, who's playing third in this rink as well. So, good time away with the family and celebrate his 18th birthday last night. He tells me he was in reasonable condition this morning. Knew he had a big few days ahead, so enjoyed his birthday, but nothing over the top. Ready for action this morning, and as we mentioned, they've started off with a couple of wins. It's Trevor just missing the line there. Bowl number 2. from Dave will be in the count. We mentioned the tactics of the Tamworth side to this really short end. To this point, it's paid off. Both Debbie and Trevor just haven't quite found it. Craig likewise going to get well underneath that line there. I was just realising there's a bowl still to come behind him. Craig's second one. He got this out on a better line. All down to weight from there.
Well, I'm guessing it's Blaine's mum asking if Blaine is the youngest player here, and I can emphatically answer that as no.
Well, and Blaine actually played against 3 players here in the first game this morning that are younger than him. So, with 3 of our New South Wales junior girls squad here playing. So, the South Tamworth side defeated them in round number 1. But there is plenty of youngsters out and about. I see one of our junior boys squad members on one of the other greens, and Jacob Aitken as well. Lane, while not quite the youngest, still well and truly in that bracket of the youngest ones here.
In the youngest half a dozen, was they? The 3 girls in that team, though, their age is balanced out by having Wilkes here, isn't it?
Yeah, this is true. I see Glenn, his forehand. Just needs to run the whole way. Won't quite do that. Opportunity here for the Tamworth side. Try and capitalise on their opponents. Phil's just going to run through as well. It's just be the one at this stage. Second bowl of Craig Troth is doing enough to reduce the count. Looks to have got this out a lot wider. Quite come back far enough, so be a further shot for Phil O'Reilly's side from South Tamworth. 2 shots to 0 after 2 ends. Plenty of games out and about on all our 3 greens. Just a reminder, if you're just joining the coverage, please check out the West Dubbo Bowls Facebook page for any updates in scores. I'll be posting those at the conclusion of every round. I currently have the table there after round 2. Just a reminder, it's Aaron Wilson's side currently sitting on top, followed by Ben Twist and then Gary Kelly in 3rd place. So you can go to that page to check all the results, see how each team's gone in both their matches today, and follow your favourite sides along for the remainder of the week. Guys have just stretched this end out another 3 or 4 metres, looking at about a 26 metre, 25.5 metre length here for end number 3. Opener there from Debbie. She played a couple of good bowls of backhand coming down that way in number 1. Feedback we have heard from players over the opening couple of matches. As Nev trails a jack through past his first. Right hand side of screen. as you can quite obviously tell, a much wider hand, but also a lot slower. Some players getting caught out when they're swapping hands. Those players, third and skip, who are changing hands quite a lot.
There is quite a stiff breeze blowing at times, at least. And the surefire way for us to stop it blowing is to point the camera at the flags.
I'm just going to drop a little bit under with that first one. Trevor Thorpe here from Condoblin. Just working his way up, not quite going to make it on that occasion. Of course, it's worth pointing out there with Blaine on the mat, he's our current back-to-back state junior fours winner. Last 2 seasons, Blaine's been in that winning side.
In 2 different zones.
2 different zones, yes. And as we mentioned, just turned 18, so just coming out of the junior competition now, and he'll hopefully stick with the sport, as we hope a lot of our juniors do, and make his way into open competition.
Dare we say carried Bailey Meddy to the title the first time?
I'll take your word on that. I wasn't there for that one, so can't comment on the game there. But no, really nice young guy, Blaine, to meet him down there at Wirrallah for this year's state championships.
Look, does a great job up there at South Tamworth on the greens as well, working as apprentice to Mick Woods. Went blank there for a moment, but remembered Mick's name.
We saw Dave with another good bowl in there. 3 to the Tamworth side at the moment. Craig Troth missing the line there once again. Might be just going around the back a little bit. I mean, not exactly intentional, but won't go to waste.
Well, it's come to a really good home, I think. It's probably best back as well, so it's got the spot.
Right.
It is best back.
Craig Troth, the next one. Chance of opening something up at the front. Turn one of his own teammates bowl up. That'll be third shot now. Now, picture yourself at the mat end of the green. If you're 2 down, that's not going to look a very appealing head to play to. And played a lot of bowls with and against Glenn over the last half a dozen years or so. He spent a few years at Orange at the same club that I was at. And he does like to play an aggressive style of game. So I wouldn't be surprised to see some firm weight through the pack with his first. At least give himself a chance. Not a great deal of hope of drawing that shot at the moment as it sits.
There's not a bad head for Phil to play to try and add to the count. Oh, just didn't quite have the running.
Yeah, I think the hand signals show there. Yep. Into that gap. I'd be surprised to see this coming with a few metres of weight.
Well, there's a chance for some contact to get a result at the front there as well, the middle bowl at least.
He hasn't let me down. Nice and firm through the front. Well, didn't quite get the result with that one, but has certainly cleared a path.
I just wonder whether Phil would have been better off to turn his hand over, play the other hand, take away Glenn's shot, even get a toucher on that forehand side and just hide the jack away.
Yeah, thought he might have. He has tried to draw this backhand. Won't quite count, but we'll finish past. Seton with his last 2 down. Much of the same. Find that gap at the front. Look to trail the jack if you sit one of the bowls and stay.
Yeah,
could also work.
Don't want big weight. Oh, he's pulled this one right across, hasn't he?
Yeah, just going to get away. Wanting there. So 2 shots. Keep doubling their score. Tamworth side 4-0 after 3 ends. 15 end matches here in sectional play. Dead ends. The jack will be respotted on the tee. And a reminder that we have 9 games to be covered throughout our 3 days here at Club Dubbo. This is match 3 today. Also feature 3 matches tomorrow. And then quarterfinal, semi-final and final here with us on Friday. Give a bit of a tease of some of the games that we have to be covered tomorrow. Round 1, first up at 8:30 a.m. Nathan Wise up against Ben Twist. So that should be a cracking game. Benny Twist with Cameron Cooper, Ashley Mitchell and Tom Webb. Nathan Wise with Brett Spur, Benny Winther and Steve Glasson. Should be a cracking game to start our coverage from 8:30 tomorrow morning. We have Liam Morrow from here in Dubbo in round 2 tomorrow, which will be round 5 overall, up against Aaron Wilson from Cabramatta.
I think I've heard of him.
In our final game, yeah. Our final game tomorrow afternoon, we have the local ladies side here of Bev Goss up against the earlier mentioned New South Wales junior girls. The 3 of those will be skipped by Michael Wilkes. The 3 cracking games tomorrow, and see all of those games having a big impact on the final placings, especially for the top 8.
I did warn Wilksy that the commentary could be brutal, and he said he looked forward to it.
One of the good guys in the sport, Michael Wilkes, can take a joke, which is nice and pleasing. He had plenty thrown at him last night by MC Steve Glasson. All in good nature, and yeah, great to see that Michael's taking his time out to play with some of these juniors. Hopefully, develop those careers. We see once again Nev with a couple of good openers and Blaine adding to the count. Trevor Thorpe trying to find his way back to the jack. Oh, that's going to help. Kicked it out to the side. Blaine's going to switch over to his backhand.
I don't think he sent this one quite enough to get right to the jack, but it's better than I thought it would be. It's only, what do you reckon, 30 centimetres, 40 centimetres short?
Yeah, thereabouts. And yeah, well, it's really good enough for a shot. And this is Trevor's first bowl down this side of the green, and he'll soon come to realise it's a much different line to the other hand.
Just a little bit tighter.
Dave Cook on a similar line to Blaine, just wanting it to pull up now. Yeah, it's another one in the count. It's at least 2. It's hard to judge with the white against the orange who's closer, but we know it's definitely 2 to South Tamworth at the moment. Craig Troth played this very nicely. Just have gone through, but terrific start.
Well, he gets past Blaine's bowl, he would just about be shot.
Yeah.
Oh, close.
It's going to be a couple. Pretty sure Phil indicated they were holding before Dave's second one there.
Craig can play just through that. Little touch is good for them.
A little bit wider with this one.
He's come back all right. Just the speed, he'd added a metre on. Might have been wide, looked a bit wider, just that extra speed sometimes. So for
In
Phil,
country terms, he's a relative local, Craig. He's at Marlong, only a bit over an hour or so away from where we are here in Dubbo. Had many battles with Craig over the last, probably 20 years now at Marlong. They've always had a strong squad of players. Played a lot in team games, the likes of Bob Hamilton and Kevin Beattie. Very consistent front-end player is Craig.
A bit over an hour 17. I had to, didn't disbelieve it. I just thought, isn't it further than that? Maybe I just drive slow.
Phil's first one pulling up short. Certainly going to dictate the line that Glenn takes here. We said he's using the Henslite Cruise that will hold a long way. Oh, it doesn't quite.
It's got the feather and pushed him across as well.
Still be a couple to Phil's side. Does he look to the back of the green now for protection? Or is he trying to draw a shot? There's something to be considered with the respot. It looks like it is. Glenn with 3 on the respot as it currently lays. He was trying to draw a shot, so even if this counts, I think it's time for Seton to try and kill the end. He can get the 2 shot bowls away, miss those, kill the jack, got all the bowls on the respot, and Craig's indicated that exact thing. See which hand he's lining up here on the back hand, and it's nice and firm. They're not going to be a mile away here. Seton just got it on just the wrong angle. 1 bowl remained in there.
It was always the danger with that shot, though, that he got it too flush and it jammed in.
It was a good effort. 1 shot.
Well, the good thing news is they haven't doubled their score again. That's for Seton. We're going to go a bit shorter again.
Definitely the tactic so far. And why not? They've won all 4 ends.
Decent start again from Nev.
There's not many of the staff left at South Tamworth then this week. They're all down here playing in the event.
Phil must have left at 2IC in charge. Mick's up there to look after the greens.
Lovely club there. Been fortunate enough to go there numerous occasions for different state events over the years. Always well looked after.
Oh, look, and Phil and Nev do a wonderful job in the club. Always have everything organised spot on at the club.
Debbie going to persist on the backhand here. Sneak around that last bowl would be ideal. Wait with the first. Just caught the front. Rolled that one in, but not sitting too badly for her side, even though they're 2 down. Both hands very accessible. Trevor had that go on the backhand on this tight side in the opposite direction. Let's see if he can correct here on the forehand. He's brought it in a little bit. Trevor using conquests, weighted very well. So going to bring that in slightly with his second. Much like Blaine, finished in a similar spot. He's definitely reduced his grass line. All down to weight from there. And he's played it very well. So another counter there from Blaine Cook. Trevor hoping to correct in much the same fashion. Once again, he's on a tighter line. Has he increased the weight, though? I think he has. It's not going to get him back.
It's the trick with a very tight hand. I find that you're going on a tight line, so you immediately put that extra weight on because of the muscle memory of playing weighted shots when you play that tight.
Dave just missing with that one, but yeah, as you say, finished in a good spot. Seen the intent from their opposition to play just over the draw weight, try and sit the bowls. Craig with his white lines. Also going to finish close to centre, but that extra weight just not letting him get back in time.
If it gets back to that last one at bowl of Craig's, gets the edge there. Well, he's given it one clap, but I think he actually meant it as a compliment.
I'll have to tell him about my theory. Craig, just drifting wide again. That breeze getting that little bit stronger against the bias of the bowl. White lines are very narrow. Bowl at the best of times.
And generally, the narrower the bowl, the more effect the wind has on them. I have a theory when the wind's affecting that if you're under the line and they start to turn, they're going to cut right across the head, because when you go that bit wider and they hang out, the wind actually hits the flat surface on the side of the bowl and it acts like a sail. Once you start to turn in, though, don't have that effect. So it's very easy to be right across your line.
Wing keel.
Wow.
So,
not too badly from Phil. I think he'll just lay Blaine over and sit inside.
As we mentioned with Glenn, he won't be mucking around with this. Don't expect a dead draw here. You play nice and firmly up through this.
Well, my theory comes into play here. You watch that bowl take off across.
You just don't get that straight action on release. If you do get that slight pull, and the bowls start turning early and they just, as you say, continue to get away. That's close to the line there with that breeze now that Phil's played. Yeah, lovely shot. Phil O'Reilly. Well played. Little target there. Look to the re-spot. It's one to the purple side. That white bowl, you can see below the jack, is the deepest bowl on the rink. So Glenn here, potentially up to 4 down. Well, he's got stroked that one a lot nicer. He's going to make contact with something. Where will it end up? Bowl onto bowl.
Off mark.
And we await confirmation. Craig's hoping for one, and he gets it. Well, that's a huge shot. 5-0 down and 4 down on the head. To come away with a single shot there. Get your team on the board. And let's see if we have a change of tactics.
Well, I know what I'd be doing if I was determining this. Chuck that mat right on the tee and roll it as close to the other tee as you possibly can.
We haven't quite gone to the tee. Where are we? Probably about 2 metres away from the tee with the mat. And the jack midway down the line, the other end of the green. So
We're a bit longer, but not a dramatic change.
3 metres, possibly longer than we have been.
Yeah, I think I'd have been looking to go a bit longer still.
Thanks to everyone who's tuning in. Plenty of action, as we said, over the next 3 days. And make sure you join us just after lunchtime on Friday. We have the final of this event. We give away a huge portion of the $125,000 prize pool with that final. It's $40,000 to the winning side. So there's plenty of teams still in contention for that top prize at the moment. A couple of good days on the green and your team walks away with a $40,000 cheque. Trevor trying to find the weight just under the front. Not quite to be. That'll be second shot. Both hands starting to look a little bit unappealing. Bowls on the preferred draw line. Blaine's going to play the bigger turning side.
Not a bad effort. Not bad at all. It'll count.
That's a couple. Glenn giving Trevor a couple of different options here. He's going to stick to his backhand, try and work his way through his own. And once again, that extra weight just not allowing him the chance to get back in time. We found all day, Andrew, haven't we? Weight's so critical down that side.
Yeah. You if you've got extra on, you're not coming back quickly enough, and you're going to be wide.
I know we focus on that quite a lot, but it is the same on the wider side too. If you are play extra weight and you throw it out on a normal draw line on the wide side, it's still going to have the same effect.
I think on the narrower side, though, as I said, you normally, when you do play a narrower than you're expecting, you're playing a weighted shot, so you tend to push. So you really notice that it holds its line a lot longer.
Craig Trace, that's Debbie's bowl. It got moved forward. Quite enough for shot. There is a path, a clear path to Jack that's been opened up. So it could be a case of being first one in here. First one into that little passage at the front. Dave just popping up off the mat there a little bit. Don't think he quite got that one away as nicely as he wanted to. It's a similar line to Craig. His white lines. Pretty good attempt here.
Well, as you just run through a little too far.
I think so. Looked like it was to Phil O'Reilly's side. Dave Cook. Can he clear the front? Well, that path was opened up a couple of bowls ago. It's now had something to replace it in the way. Once again, you can see, Glenn, I mentioned that intent, attacking mindset he has. Look at that gap he's looking at the front. Yeah. His team's trying to talk him into playing that draw shot on the wider hand. Not sure he's fully locked into that option yet. Okay, will there be a draw or a drive from Seton first up? The teammates have overruled him. He's on a nice track. Here's your weight here, Glenn Seton.
Pretty good.
Oh, wow. That's just slipped past as well. The shoulders just go down from his teammate. I think we'll see Dave indicate that they're still holding. Yeah, one and a measure. Very delicate draw here for Phil. Doesn't really want any jack movement. He's found the gap at the front. What's he going to do with this jack? Just got it okay. Going to make things look very awkward. The line is still there. Yeah, Greg's pulled him in there. It won't look nice, but it's definitely there. You see where Glenn's first bowl is, that blue one just beyond the jack.
Really, if he's got one bowl less weight, he'll nearly draw him for shot.
Oh, he's a couple of bowls tighter. I fear he's quicker as well. Yeah. Added the weight. Phil being asked to change hands. Just needs to keep off the front white bowl. He turns it up past the orange. They could be down. So, nice safe line here, which he's done. If he turns back from there, so be it. But yeah, safely played. That jack movement may have reduced the count to one. Guys are going to go to the lie detector. Two shots to Phil's side, so 7-1 now after 6 ends.
%40 of the game played.
Maybe just joining our coverage. This is round 3. 6 sectional rounds to be played by each of the sides. Glenn Seton from Condobolin. 2 losses to start the day. They sit in 34th place. They're looking to turn their fortunes around and work their way up the ladder. And it's the opposite side of the story for Phil O'Reilly. Phil from South Tamworth started off with 2 wins in the opening rounds before lunch today. And they are currently in 10th place after that second round. As we know, the further we go through these events, those sides at the top will start to play each other. So Phil's side happened to win this round. They'll be a lot higher up than 10th. And more bowls by Nev White. Just like that one, won't do them any harm.
Well, you'd reckon with a third win, the worst they could be is 9th after this round. At least one of the 2 game winners is playing each other. Twisty and Wisey, isn't it?
Twisty and Gary Kelly at the moment, so second
Kelly
and third on the live ladder up against each other. One of the outside greens here, covering that one. Blaine a little bit further than he wanted, but getting deepest bowl early on in this end. A lot of these ends just following a similar pattern where Nev is just out-leading his opposition. And Glenn's team trying to find any way they can to reduce the count or pick up shot themselves. And Blaine and Dave have had the opportunity just to add extra shots. Blaine a little disappointed with that one. Found the line twice. Just missing on weight. I think you're going to force Trevor into a change of hand. You're going to move over to his backhand. That's not the line. Won't get away with that on that side of the green. In between kind of shot. Played weight back to the tee and it's going to run out of bounds. So things mounting up, and it's just that pressure having that one right on the jack. Just makes the opposition do funny things when they don't have a side of it. Dave's on there, not quite sure of that is in the count. Obviously, they'd love to get shot here, but Craig's first task to make sure he gets second. I think that's quite far enough. At least a couple there. The two orange ones still counting. Going to run a little too far, but just in behind. And Craig nice and quickly onto the mat. Picked a different line to his first. And he's going to make contact with Blaine Cook's bowl up the front. Not quite sure how many the count is at the moment. But once again, Glenn Seton's going to the mat with a less than ideal shot to try and play.
I think the important thing for Phil here is not to leave it wide out on that backhand side, unless it's just in the draw line. So if he's going to be jack high, be the bad result.
Yeah, it's a funny one, isn't it? You don't want to be wide, but then he also can't afford to be tight and roll that bowl that's leaning, that purple disc bowl up closer. So try and play a good bowl. Hope you don't leave it in that awkward spot that's going to help your opposition. I think he's played it well because he's going to finish just past.
Well, inside that white bowl is good.
Yep.
I think
hat's
that
off.
Counts.
Yeah, got the hat from Dave. He's sporting a very close to Nev White style haircut as well. Okay, so Glenn, there's the line. Just left with these difficult shots. Missing the weight, so Phil said ideally loses a metre of weight. Just wants to be careful with where he leaves it. Well, this is close to the opposition bowl. He won't want to make contact with that leaning one, and he has. This is going to be second shot. No, disappointed with that. It's giving Glenn a bit of free rein here to play onto that bowl, try and get the jack down the line towards that purple one, centre of the rink.
Wow.
Yeah, not sure that he could ever get shot at that weight.
One more to fill, though.
Yeah, just wonder how many he was holding before that last one.
I think it might have been 3 or 4, maybe even more.
Maybe a little disappointed with that, but that's gone now. Got to put that out of the mind. Still well and truly in command.
Nev's nicely pointed again. Just going to run through a little bit.
It's one of his loosest sort of opening bowls. He's really found his weight very well here this afternoon. Dubbo must be far more confident on the backhand, really favouring that side of the rink at the moment. Deb kicks that one out of the way, and for the first time, possibly in this match, she takes shot after the leads have finished.
Well pointed from Blaine.
Well, that's exactly what you want in your side, isn't it? That we mentioned it's Nev's loosest end of the match. But straight away, Blaine comes to the rescue. Gets one really close with his first.
A little bit tight on the running shot. I think Dave would be well served to try and change his head up a little bit. Just wants to get through their own bowls, maybe turn one of them up onto the jack. Just going to slide underneath. We'll sit that, make three. Leaves that forehand through the head available. Again, just underneath the line. Well pointed from Dave. Just needs that to get through the head. Craig just a little bit past. Well, see what Phil has now. 4 green bowls near the jack. South Tamworth. that jack would be very inviting. Doesn't want to make it an easier target. Can just play up and over the green bowl on the way in. Well, he's going to come around to the back. Offers some protection. And you just need someone to go and tap him on the shoulder and say, oi. Well, don't think he's got the jack there. No, he hasn't. So it's still going to be maybe 4. Well, that one's been applauded on the way in.
So I've just come back in. Looks like Tamworth holding a few. Andrew, is it?
Yeah, I think it's 5 there at least.
Okay, so Seton, nice and aggressive. Trevor in the way, letting know he's on the backhand. Looks just wide of the ideal line. So Trevor's just jumped out of the way there now, so we'll get that angle from behind. Just a little wide for that weight. There's 4, 5 removed.
Possibly 6 there.
It's fair to say this kind of count has been brewing all game. You know, it's at least 5. And that's all it'll be. 5 shots. What a strange game. That was Nev White's loosest end of the match. And his team still comes away with a 5. 2 guys following him with 4 fantastic bowls. Just went out to check on one of the matches on the other green. We said we have Ben Twist playing Gary Kelly. Those 2 sides in 2nd and 3rd at the moment. And it's Gary Kelly's quartet 11-3 in front after 8 ends.
He's back. Just had one end away.
Great to feature some different players on our live stream coverage. So, go back to this morning, we had sides from Warilla and Burke. Round 2 saw Engadine up against a West Coast South Australian side. Mainly Streaky Bay. And then here in round 3 we've got Condoblin and Tamworth. Great to see a good mix of coverage over the first day of the event.
Did have someone on Facebook ask your opinion on the best player to come out of Zone 4 in the last 20 years or so. There's some pretty good competition amongst that.
Yeah, Zone 4. Okay, so I guess it depends on when you draw the line with Zone 4 and there's some boundary changes there 10 years or so ago, but towards the top of my list it'd have to be John O'Davis, especially in the recent times. Winning national titles. Yeah, further back, guys like Matt Peterson as well. If you're going to include the recent boundary changes I mentioned 10 or a dozen years ago, guys like Jared Beath come into calculation for that as well.
What about the bloke who's played in every single one of the state championship finals? sitting next to me at the moment.
Thank
Bit
you.
humble to not include yourself on that one. You've played in more state finals than Bunsey.
Lucky enough to win a few Zone 4 titles along the way. So Trevor finding his way through with that extra weight. Plenty of good battles. I think of some of the other guys who played a lot of games against. West Dubbo, the likes of Tim Farrell of recent years. Back in my time as a junior, the likes of David Ferguson.
Yeah.
Out this way as well. Josh Andriski, another one from Dubbo, as a state singles finalist himself.
2013, I think it was.
I know that very well because I know who he beat in the semi-final that year. Craig Troth, drawing the shot, hands in the air, saying it's about time. That's lasted one bowl. He's got that on the perfect angle, Dave Cook. The shot bowl out for 5. Craig, can he repeat the dose? Those white lines just not bending, carrying that extra speed.
And didn't get any solid contact, just got the glancing blow and ran him through to not change the head.
Other Zone 4 bowlers from across the years that come to mind, so going back 20 years or so ago, the likes of Adam and Lee Morrissey, who were at Golgong. Very good players. Winning plenty of events and junior state pairs winners. One point in time. Jay Maskell, another one who's at Mudgee. Won a lot of Zone 4 titles as well. I wonder if Phil's probably just done enough to get into the count. Seton, he was miracle worker a few ends ago when he was 4 down. Well, this might get a similar result to the Troth Bowl, and it has. Almost an action replay. So, looks like 6. The guys from Tamworth. Just looking to the back of the rink. 2 on the re-spot to the purple side.
Blaine Cook is an exception to what you've just said there with the Zone 4 players, because a great number of those have migrated towards the more financial affluent city clubs who have been able to give them employment towards furthering their bowls careers. And Blaine Cook's the opposite, who's gone from the Central Coast out to Tamworth.
Yeah, and as you mentioned before, working at the club, good to see opportunity given, and Tamworth, one of those regional centres who are supportive of bowls. A couple others from this region who are doing well in Sydney at the moment. The brothers from Golgong, Jordan and Lockie Thompson, both going very well. Seton, quite a number down. Certainly changed his line from the first. Where's this going to stop? Oh, it's still travelling. Potentially might have gone just enough to not count too many out. I'm surprised to see there's going to be at least 4. Depends on whether there's any more after that.
Well, the 5th one, Phil O'Reilly's bowl at the back. I Central like it because it's close to the centre line, but the 4 there are going to count.
Yeah, so there's 4 removed.
And I think the green one is out of count. It's just further back towards us, or towards the back of the rink. But on the live view, it doesn't look too bad. So,
well, they're measuring this one out jack high as well, so that gives you an indication as to how far back these other ones are near the centre. Might need a hand to grab it, so looks like Seton one's close enough. 4 it is. A couple of huge multiples back to back. 5 followed by 4.
And all of a sudden, this game's blown right out.
Yeah, well, we mentioned the Tamworth side coming into this event, coming into this round, beg your pardon, in 10th place. Looking like getting a huge margin boost here. Force their way right up the leaderboard. Look at how their draw looks for tomorrow and who they've got left. They play Styles, Ahoy and Strudwick in the 3 matches tomorrow. So they have missed the top bracket of sides that were bid very highly upon at last night's Calcutta.
Who's Billy Ahoy got with him? It's a good question, but
Warren Towney, I think he's in the side. Not 100% sure on the other. They're locked in a battle at the moment with another one of our South Australian sides that contains, I've been told, of the 3 state skips, the South Australian over 60s side. One of those being Gary Smith, the side's listed in his name. It'll be a good battle being undertaken at the moment. And of course, we're not far away from all our representative sides heading to Perth for the Nationals. Action kicks off on October the 6th.
Billy's one of those going, isn't he?
He is, yeah. So he'll be part of that squad. 6th of October. Everything's underway with champion of champion singles. So Samantha Ferguson and Lee Schreiner representing New South Wales. That same day, our New South Wales under-18 side get their 2-day campaign underway. And October the 6th will be the first of 4 days for the para side as well. Shortly after those events, October 8th, our over 60s men and women begin their campaign. They play against each of the other 7 state and territories.
There's not a bad effort, but again, just got the wrong angle. Needed that flush.
It's that weight, isn't it? Just not playing the right weight leads to more of those unlucky results. So 8th to the 11th, the Senior Sides Championship, and then 1 day in between for the Open men and women have their same event, playing against all other 7 associations. Determine the Ali Shield and Marge Morris Trophy winners. And immediately following those, all the championship winners. The order of plays: triples, pairs, fours and singles. 4 consecutive days. And we'll wrap up on Friday, October the 20th. So a busy program for some of our players. As we said, players like Sam Ferguson, Lee Schreiner involved in a singles event and come back for the sides a few days later. And some of those in the open sides, men and women, are also state championship winners, so they'll be staying on to try and win a national title in those reflective disciplines that they won in our recent state championships. So a nice open head here in number 10. Looks like the Condo Molon composite side currently holding. Craig Troth just going to find that gap. As the afternoon goes on, the green might be just quickening up a bit. Everyone just sailing past on this end. Breeze ever so slightly behind them.
Changed directions a few times today too, that breeze.
Someone's just messaged me, let me know that side. Warren Towney, Rico Lane and Nathan Collis. They're teaming up with Bill Ahoy. This event.
Sound like Billy's skipping a local team.
Warren was at East Maitland last season. Led up in their Grade 1 side there. Made the move back here to Dubbo. So that'd be a nice little battle taking place here as Phil jumps onto the mat. We'll give the cattle prod to Trev there in a moment to get him away from the middle. In Trevor's defence, he was probably the last one to the rink, so I didn't get to have a chat with him prior to the game. He was the last one to arrive. Oh, he hasn't got the memo. I'll get the message out to him there so you can see what's happening. Glenn drawing in. This is not far away. Trying to turn back to the jack. Just goes past the outside. Up and down. What's the call? And security there, just doing the job. Trevor's out of the way for us. And we get a good view of Phil's second shot coming in.
Hasn't got the speed.
Closer shot at the moment. Quite sure what the call was, but that bowl just past Jack High, the green sticker. That's the opposition closest. Seton, well, I must think he's down. He's going firm at it. He's going to kick a goal through the middle. Based on that, I assume it's one shot to Phil O'Reilly. Craig just doing the measure for us just to confirm. And it is one to Tamworth. So they further their lead now, 18 shots to 1 after 10 ends. And it's the ruthless part of these wins and margins events. As you well know, Andrew, respect for the opposition is key. You still need to put the foot on the throat at the same time and try and extend the margin out as much as you can today. Extra shots you get today are less that you have to earn tomorrow when you're trying to work your way up the leaderboard.
Well, the next 5 ends, the difference between, even if Phil scores 5 shots, it's a plus 22. If he drops 5 shots, it's plus 12. That 10 could make the difference in playing for the major prize or one of the minor prizes.
Yeah, that's right. That 10 shots could be the difference between 2 or 3 spots on the leaderboard.
Or if you happen to get done in a game or two tomorrow, it could be the difference between going home after tomorrow or staying on to play for some money at all. It's a bit like the Saturday afternoon chook run. You never back off. But I think the important thing is not to get greedy.
You're right, just play each end as it comes. You've got to this position not by aiming for a certain target, so don't look for a certain target per end. If you can, like you said, win all 5 ends as your goal, the shots will take care of themselves and you'll have a nice handy margin going in. So he's doing what he's done just about every end.
Start looking to score 3s and 4s on each end. And you play a slightly streaky shot, you can drop a 3 or a 4 fairly easily by not building your head sensibly. And you're in a position now because you've got a couple of big scores. If you just keep building that head, you may get another couple of big scores and really ramp that margin up.
The disappointing thing for the Condo side is they've just let their opposition have free rein to the jack. Just about every single end. Just haven't quite picked the right weight. The majority of this game. And once again, that's pretty close to the line, and you'll see it finish right down the middle of the rink, just overweighted.
They've been put under a fair bit of pressure as well, Nev White, and Nev White's probably been the player of the rink, and I think Blaine Cook's played a very good game at second, mostly. Yeah, commentator's right. Curse.
Yeah, you've done well. They both certainly have. What an advantage that gives you. Leeds putting on a performance like Nev is here.
Well, they've been there or thereabouts most of the time, and set up the chance for them to score those 1s, 2s, 3s, 4s on every end.
Good one there from Trevor. He's got second shot. Blaine has the bowl coming in, both sides of the rink. The green stickered bowl. So Dave with options. I'd love to just miss the front bowl now. And he has done. Well, that is close enough to perfect. And it's time for attack on leave.
And it's the sort of bowl that means your opponent can't see the jack, which makes it that bit harder.
Nice and firm. Craig Troth just going to go a bowl or so under. He's going to work some bowls to the back of the rink, though. So you can see Phil, bottom of screen. He's indicating, let's get one down the back here.
He's got his toe on the tee.
Closest bowl of the tee at the moment, a purple one. Less than a metre away.
And Dave has not sent that one with the speed to get to the tee. He's their backest bowl.
It's that change of hand, isn't it?
Yeah, he's
close here. Craig Troth. I think the jack's flying out. Here it goes. How far will it go? Well, it's bounced away to the side. I think it's going to be one to Trevor Thorpe's white wing bowl. But he's going to get a lot more solid contact than what he did. Turned away and just grazed that shot bowl.
Well, Phil's got the next few. Does he try to sit the white bowl out, or does he try and draw?
The way the opposition's been playing, I think you take the chance to try and sit the bowl out. If you trail the jack a couple of metres, you have Dave's bowl, bottom of screen there. That should be the plan. Trail the jack 2 to 3 metres, get underneath and sit the shot bowl. Look at these powers holding.
Oh, it's nice home.
Attempt. I think he needs a fraction. He definitely needs more weight than that if he wants to have all of his bowls count. Seton, he's first. This is carrying some speed too. Needs to be careful. Where's he going to move it? Well, just finds a gap. Decision time for Phil. If he wants to get to that bowl, he's going to have to carry another 3 or 4 metres, and I think that's the call.
Yeah, Dave said get rid of it.
I want to pull this across too early. Start it pretty well close to the centre line. You're a chance. There it is. Well, can it move just enough? He's played it. It's a super shot by Phil. That'll be 3 or 4 now to the Tamworth combination.
Well, normally you'd say he should have no issues drawing this, but he's had to play some attacking shots, and well, he's on a decent line, but how's the speed?
Pretty fair attempt here from Glenn Seton. Yeah, that's going to be shot. Well played. And congratulated by Phil in the background. So it's Glenn's turn. Double his score. 18 shots to 2. 4 ends to play.
I thought this is a very good bowl from Phil. And even though Glenn's drawn the shot, probably a better bowl in one way. Just like the aggression shown here, very little risk. Get rid of it. Was only going to drop a 1.
Just a good call too from Dave, wasn't it? Nice and positive. There was no umming and ahhing about which shot to play. Positive call. Phil obviously saw it as well. He was happy with it and went out and played it.
Well, miss, you might have dropped a 2. So it's not as if it was a huge risk. You put the pressure on the opposition, holding 3 or 4. He's got to do it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, Nev, I think he's gone a little bit on the whitish side this time.
Played with nice weight then. Obviously just wanted to make sure he got around Debbie's first one. A little size 1 XGs coming down here. Nev has changed his line. He'll hope to have a similar weight from there. Fortunately, hasn't pushed it all the way.
Well, just a reminder you that we are coming to you live from Club Dubbo, West Dubbo Bowling Club, for the Inland Petroleum City of Dubbo International Fours. Prize pool of $125,000. We'll be back live again tomorrow morning from pretty much bang on 8:30 a.m. 3 more sectional rounds tomorrow, Thursday, and then on Friday we've got a quarter, semi and final of the major prizes. 24 of these teams will still be live on Friday in 3 different divisions. Great concept with 24 of the teams involved on Friday vying for a share of that $125,000. And it's a great competition here at Club Dubbo.
Blaine, second one. Just lacking speed again here, I think. He's going to get caught on his first. Just missed the last couple of ends. There's Blaine, so he looked to bounce back, try and finish strong. 6 more bowls to go in his day. No one's really nailed it with this change of length. It's Craig Troth. Want to get underneath his teammate's bowl, and he's done so. Well, that's the shot. Well, that's going to look like an aggressive option. They're confident they want to be here, but they try and run the jack in the ditch on the back end. Clear some things out of the way. Just a reminder that it is a respot format. He clears this one out of the way. He could even run on here. Oh, he does.
One of the things you've got to be careful on a respot format is they actually don't make it worse by killing the end. I played in a tournament once where the jack was on the spot and our opponent's closest bowl was immediately behind. We were holding 2 or 3 and they had a drive, got the jack, which hit their own bowl, went out of bounds. They took their own bowl out. When the jack went back to the spot, we were holding about 7. So I was actually quite pleased they hit their drive.
Had to go for it, yeah. So Dave will just get back on the draw now that he's cleared the path. Yes, he has. Good idea. Has he corrected? Oh, he's in the area here for the shot bowl. Oh, good attempt. Still rolling. Well, that's done enough. Could be the orange jack high bowl.
Oh, very interesting.
Just kept turning out, didn't it? Oh, on screen, you would favour the orange.
There is a chance here for Glenn, though. He can play that backhand draw, play that nice tight line, try and get a toucher. If he's down, he's only got to move it 30 centimetres or so. He'll be holding 3. Whereas Phil needs to be very careful with his draw. The beauty for Phil at the moment, if nothing changes, he's got 3 feet to draw a shot. It certainly looks like it.
Seton, he's first. His own bowl coming in. He does make contact. Oh, which way is it going to spin? Just get on that dry and just keep rolling. No change.
Phil can draw inside the orange bowl. You'd reckon he'd have to be, if not, he's not already won, he'd be won. Just needs to get down to that dry and then pull up.
Played it well.
Oh, that's the shot. Not sure whether it's 1 or 2.
But like you said, this stage of the game, Seton can't afford to be short. If he overplays it, well, it's not really going to do him any detriment. Try and move the jack down the line. Need some contact off these front ones to be a chance. And it's just going to go through. Don't mind that. Played the speed. Had an opportunity.
Oh, Phil, don't change a thing.
On that nice line again. Slightly underneath his first.
That'll do.
Oh, the hat's off again. Oh, what a shot. Has just moved the jack ever so slightly off centre.
Oh, has he moved it back up the line enough to bring that orange one in for sure? Or is it, are we looking at the wrong one for third shot? Is it the purple off to the front?
Yeah, it's 3 conceded. Craig's looking around the head, trying to find a way to see that it wasn't 3, but eventually had to concede. 3 ends to go. You see the score on screen. 21 shots to 2. A huge lead. All those results will be on the West Dubbo Bowls Facebook page. Following round 3, you'll see the overnight scores. We know this side from Tamworth are going to be up in the top few positions. 2 wins plus 17 heading into this match. Looking like recording another solid win here.
Well, they look like more than doubling their margin at this stage. So for Glenn Seton's team, I think they just need to say, well, let's try and win an end or 2. Just make it a little more respectable. Whereas Phil O'Reilly, he'd be saying, well, let's win the last 3 ends and not give them anything. I think Phil would probably be happy to score 3 ones.
Yeah, you take that now. Just be happy, get your win, get into the clubhouse, relax, and get set to go again tomorrow.
Well, you'd imagine 6 wins would put you through to the top no matter what.
Definitely.
Certainly you were through to the top no matter what with 6 wins last year. And in a 6-game tournament, you usually don't find that many that do win 6 games. If you win 6, you're usually in the mix for the top few places.
Blaine once again right on line there, just pulling up about a metre or just under. short of the jack.
And really, you don't need to finish anything but in the top 8.
Yeah, there is seeding, obviously, but once you get into that top 8, any of those sides are going to be good enough to beat each other. So make your way into the 8, and it's a whole new 3-game tournament, basically starting on the 3rd and final day. When we played last year, that was our goal. Just get to the 8 and see what happens after that. We lost a game, this corresponding match actually, game 3 on day 1. We're able to come back with 3 wins on the second day and get through. Not the best 2 bowls there from Trevor. And in an all too familiar pattern, it's Dave Cook stepping on the mat, holding a multiple and plenty of room to add.
And again, we see the pattern where Nev's line is impeccable. A little bit long, but Blaine's drawn the shot. Probably not as good as their previous ends, but I imagine the intensity of the concentration's probably dropped a little bit for both teams. The result is a foregone conclusion at this stage.
Craig's going to go through that gap. Same thing, those narrower bowls, you need to have the right weight, or you'll find those gaps all day long. Still 3. Like a change of hand coming here. His own bowl coming in. Caught out by the slower side of the green.
We need to give Phil a reminder this time.
Phil's turn to be in the naughty book and see Craig underneath his first line. I think he's going to find another gap now.
Maybe he's just trying to advertise South Bolo.
Yeah. Craig just pulling that one across. Gets the early turn out of the hand. And sails away. So crossover. This side, the Seton team really needing to hopefully finish off with a couple of nice ones. So it's a long day. Players slowly making their way up to the other end of the green. Phil he's first. Going to approach on the back end, just trying to get around these front bowls. Reasonable line for his powers. Just wanting to pull up. One will make it into the count. There's too much room being given. Seton also lining up on his back end. Just a little bit on the high side. Still a few counting there for Tamworth. Phil just like to beat his last. He narrowed the line.
All his on the way in as well. Wouldn't mind turning one of those up.
It may well be enough. Seton going to change hand. He's eyed up the jack on his forehand.
This could be as many as 5.
Yeah, absolutely. And Seton trying to make a similar number to that himself with a trail here.
He's close. It's just going to go now.
That's where the frustration comes. Get to the centre of the rink and they turn away. Somewhere between 3 and 5 here again. Just trying to establish his own closest bowl there at the moment. Is Craig. Well, we said it's hard, but the format of the tournament dictates you need to go for every shot. So Dave getting down and measuring.
Look, a tip for those measuring, if it's wider than your shoulders, you need 2 people. You see Dave struggling there to get to the bowls. Oh, the white one is the closer one. Now you need to measure your own, Dave. That one's in, that's 3.
3 in the end.
I thought the orange one at the back might be worth measuring, but obviously the camera lies. 2 ends to go. Yeah, so if you're measuring and it's wider than your shoulders, good rule of thumb is to get someone else to help you.
Ask for help.
Trained as an umpire, you said if it's wider than your shoulders, you need 2 people. Apparently I know what to do as an umpire.
Two ends left here to play in day one. Deb just pulling up a fraction short there with her opener. And Nev once again finds that line, draws right up alongside the jack. Oh, Deb finding the gap there, carrying that extra speed. Threatened the jack, but just sailed past.
For everyone registered with Bowls New South Wales, and if you've got an email address registered with us for contact, keep an eye on your emails. You'll be sent a special offer for members in the near future.
Aggressive one there from Trevor. Sailing by. Once again, it's the Tamworth side. We mentioned they might be happy to finish with 3 singles on the last 3 ends. Striving for more than that now. He's been very forcefully asked for a draw there. No more of those running bowls, please. Just try and draw it.
Well, he's narrow.
And we'll go through the gap. So once again, 3 or 4 shots.
Might be one of those games, though, where the harder you try to play better, you only make it worse.
Just looking for a little bit of coverage around towards the back. That'll do a job. It's going to make its way out of screen there, but good shot there from Dave. Just getting towards the back, closest to the tee, covering any potential trail.
Oh, I think Craig's on a good line here. It's just whether he gets underneath. Oh, well. sums up the day, though, doesn't it?
Kicks the jack the wrong way. Will still be 4 down.
I don't know. Would you be tempted to switch over to the back end and just try and change that up a little bit? Just knock the jack through the hole so that your opponents couldn't do it?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, he may get to a spot here that makes that backhand hard for his opposition anyway. He has. I think it's time to let the frustration out. You're down 24-2. Haven't had a win today. Open the shoulders up. Get right through this.
And he's under.
Only consolation, he may get the back Tamworth bowl. Well, he only moves it a fraction closer to the tee. So it'll be Tamworth with 1 on the respot with the deepest bowl on the green. Holding 5.
Well, do you go for the cover or do you just try and add?
If I'm Phil here, I'd really love to be out directly in line with the jack. 3/4 of a metre or so in front. Would be perfect.
And count as well.
You're in the count. Just on that black grid line in front of the jack there would be my aim. Right in the gap.
The worst thing you could do is fatten the target up.
He's going to count. Probably get to the inside.
Well, hasn't fattened it really.
Left a little gap. As I promised you earlier, Seton not to shy away from these big weighted shots. So he'll be right through this. No question about that. There it is. Takes 1 away.
Oh, I think I'd now be saying I'll try and draw through the green bowl at the front. Just turn it over. And if I just miss, I'm going to finish up to a metre behind. Holding 4.
It's an aggressive line. How much weight's he carrying?
Draw. Draw weight.
Not going to do any damage there. And he's actually moved his own past Jack High, his first one, which will help. It's a big shot here. Nice and firm. Release that tension and strike the target. Pull it across the arm. He's going to get 1 out, maybe 2. No.
Oh, he's got his own bowl.
So it'll be another 5. 29 shots to 2. 1 in to go. Team Seton cannot wait to get into the clubhouse. Been a long day. And we mentioned they were hoping to finish with 3 singles. The last rounds have actually gone 3 and then 5. Extend that margin right out.
The thing is, though, they haven't played greedy bowls. They've just got them into the head with the aim of making sure you score. That's all you need to do.
Yeah, 4 really good draw shots. Dave Cook went to the respot with his first. Just consolidated all the way. Fell out at a couple at the end.
Well, Phil might be close to leaderboard. Close to the top after this game.
Here's Debbie. Well, she's got the jack, threatened it a few times over the last couple of ends.
Well, if you're going to finish with a bang, that's a good way to do it with your first one.
Well, this is going to be interesting. Nev's changed sides of the ring. I've harped on it a few times, but this is a few metres slower down this side. See how he adapts to it, and that may be the same weight he's played on the other hand because he's a metre and a half or so short.
Well, he's done you a favour and backed up your theory.
I'm prepared to say it's more than a theory. It's it's on the fact side of things. Deb, what's she done here? Around the front. Oh, missed everything now.
Well, at least she'll be able to pull out a bowl with a toucher mark on it tomorrow.
Yeah, and she'll have another one there that's ready to load into the bag. It's drifted out of bounds. Blaine trying hard to draw a shot here. It's not quite going to be enough, I think.
Well, the good thing is that's probably good enough for third or fourth at least in the context of this game anyway.
Well, and depending on what happens later on, build his head up, they may be able to take out the purple one later in the end. Trevor's missed that line. Hands in the air, nice and early. Just don't think he feels confident at all. Sure, there's a few nerves there about being on the streamed game. And that one's going to drift out of bounds as well. Blaine just passes by his own. To the back of the green.
Oh, no time on the mat at all for Trevor, and this looks like it might be close to the jack.
The jack, is he? Oh, not quite. Yeah, I think Trevor's had enough for the afternoon, and that's his last bowl, so he'd be happy to come and put the feet up.
He might even have a glass of lemonade.
Yeah, I believe so. Dave Cook, not quite enough to get past the bowl.
It's well pointed.
Great effort.
Just needed a little more oomph.
Already they've got second, third and fourth shot. So there could be options later on when Phil gets onto the mat, depending on what Craig does with his two bowls here. This may block the track to the shot bowl. I think it will. One from Dave. Not quite going to get back in time. Very close to the respot. Craig's pushed this one out a lot wider. Once again, that won't get back for him either. Looks like one to Seton's side here at the moment.
So we do thank you for joining us on the Bowls New South Wales Facebook and YouTube pages for the Seton Petroleum City of Dubbo International Fours. We'll be coming to you live again tomorrow with round 4, 5 and 6, starting pretty much bang on 8:30 tomorrow morning. We look forward to your company then.
And just a reminder for those who can tune in from 8:30 tomorrow of a fantastic game to open up our coverage. We'll have Nathan Wise, Brett Spur, Ben Winther and Steve Glasson up against Ben Twist, Tom Webb, Ash Mitchell and Cameron Cooper. So cracking game to open things up tomorrow. So well worth trying to tune in from 8:30 if you can. As Phil, I think they've asked him to try and play weight to this bowl. With the breeze there, he just needs to miss the very short one of Nev White's at the top of screen. Looks like he's trying to draw it. He can get to the outside of Blaine's. Well, not quite. Chance for him to double his score here, Andrew, the last bowl of the game. Never a great way to go along if you're doubling your score on the last end.
No. Unless you get 8 to get to 16 and your opponent's only had 15.
He finds the gap, so
Be 1.
it's 1. It's Team Seton. 29 shots to 3. Well done, Andrew. Big day today. Thanks to the team at Club Dubbo. And as you said, we'll be back here early tomorrow morning. Round 4 underway from 8:30 a.m. and we look forward to seeing you then.
All right.